And I do know like a lot of people didn't think I was gonna be that good. I like to be honest, like right. I don't know what I stand in Russian, but I do know like today, me and my boys we went over another 100-yard game, right? Um, and I don't know when that's been done in past. So I'm proving myself right that I made the right decision coming here, and I appreciate everybody here. Like it has been a dream because I love Coach Sean Payton. He's a great person, and the offensive line is amazing, and then like the defense is amazing, and then the ownership is amazing. So maybe I was born to be a Bronco. It just took a little time to get here.
That's J.K. Dobbins, who was 15 carries for 111 yards. His running partner, R.J. Harvey, not a ton of yards. 46, but it included a 40-yard touchdown gallop and had 3 touchdowns. First rookie to have 3 touchdowns for the Broncos since 2002 in Clinton Portis. The Broncos absolutely mud stomp the Dallas Cowboys 44-24. The Cowboys got a garbage touchdown at the end from thrown by Milton the third. Who cares? It was unbelievable. Hey, welcome to DMac SMaK for October 27th, 2025. What a win. What a win. What a day. Just incredible performance by the Denver Broncos. Hard to be critical of anything, and they look great in their fits.
I got my first pick actually in the alternates, the throwbacks last year, and then he got it this year. I don't know if there's something with those jerseys. I'm just saying, no. I'm proud of him. It was amazing. It was a great play.
Brought to you by Journey Spice, and maybe it was the fits. I know with Journey Spice, the fit is great for taste. And if you go to Amazon.com, you'll save 10% by using the code GETSPICY. Anna and Rosa have a new machine here to help with the packaging and just amping their game up. I love it. Journey Spice puts everything into what they do. They think of every different element. So not only is it going to taste better, but it's going to be done the right way. Again, use this QR code and you will be off to Spice Heaven. Thank you, Journey Spice. When you talk about this Broncos-Dallas game, very rarely do you find NFL games that are easy. Despite being down 3-0 and Bo Nix throwing an interception right off the bat, this game flew by without much problems at all. At the end of the day, the Broncos were +2 in takeaway giveaway. That's huge. They ran the ball, threw the ball equally. It was well balanced. There were touchdowns all over the place at every point of the game up until they put in Jarrett Stidham. This was not a tense game. It was a fun game for the Broncos. Sean Payton.
Excuse me. Obviously, good win. Thought we did a lot of things well, overcoming the first turnover in the first series. Defensively, held them to a field goal. I thought we defended them really well, and then offensively, I felt like we did a great job at the line of scrimmage. So our run numbers, our pass numbers, all of it was kind of lopsided. So proud of how we played, coming off of last week's win. Those analytics are a pain when you look at them. And I'm glad we addressed it at the start of the week. It's a mistake I made years ago, not talking about it. And we just discussed it. And they did the same thing when we were discussing the road game before London. So good win. Any questions?
A lot of good.
We'll get to why he wasn't wearing throwback gear, as Riley Moss pointed out. We actually don't know the answer to that. Sean's got a press conference at 10 a.m., and I'll take one for the team and throw it out. He was asked a bunch of stuff after the game, and despite the fact that the Muggles were all talking about it, nobody asked him a question, and because I'm doing some technical things, it's more difficult for me to ask questions, and I will change that. Meanwhile, there was some interesting preparation. First of all, you heard Sean Payton say we got to treat Wednesdays like Sundays. Okay, they changed up their practice. They were more intense with their preparation. And then they were using some fun things, too, to try to install motivation. Everything the Broncos did to prepare worked.
RJ Harvey, 3 touchdowns to get Pat Bryant 1, 2. What do those guys just mean, not only today, but as rookies sort of going forward?
A lot of production from the rookie class. Maybe they read someone's article, I don't know. But you had interception, touchdowns, I mean, it's great to see them moving, getting the experience. Sometimes it's more difficult, but, you know, Jade had the interception right before the half. That was a big play. Pat, I mean, all of it was good. It's hard to predict sometimes when you're putting your plan together. Our video guy, Joe Harrington, we do a hotel tape at night, and the last like 11 plays are plays that I think are touchdowns. And he basically gave me the fight song of everybody that was a skilled player, you know. And so we saw a play that we thought Trout might score on. We heard the Dayton fight song, then before the play, and so that they know that. And we saw Central Florida. None of the players knew the name of their fight songs except Mims. But anyway, it was good to see those guys have success.
Coach to your left.
Yeah, so the young guys were rolling. Cortland Sutton had a feeling it was going to be a day for the youngsters.
So RJ, I'm like, hey, bro, you're going to have your day today. You're going to have your day today. He's just such a special dude. And then, you know, be able to see Pat. And then it's a very underrated type of catch that he made. I think that everybody thinks that, oh, you know, as receivers, you're just supposed to catch the ball. But there's an art to what we do. And the catch that he made to be able to fully extend, track that ball, get his feet skinny, to make that catch in the back of the end zone, it's not an easy catch to be able to make. So for that to be his first touchdown was really cool to see, and really, you know, it doesn't surprise me because he.
Yeah, Pat Bryant was fantastic. Here he is.
It was amazing, man. I just wanted to make sure I got the Mile High salute in, especially with the throwbacks. I've been hearing a lot about it this week. So, I mean, very special moment. Shout out to Bo to going and grabbing it. I think he did the same thing for RJ, but it was a very special moment, man. And just having Bo, you know what I'm saying, throwing me my first touchdown was even better.
What's more fun?
Jay Harvey.
Toss play to the left, and, you know, my O-line got to their blocks, receivers blocked well, and, you know, it was nothing but grass. So I just ran as fast as I could. It means a lot, you know. You know, it's just one game. Hopefully, I can continue to do that each and every game. So I'm proud of myself, but you know, a lot more work to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome, and it was a cool moment that Bryant scores a touchdown. Great throw from Bo Nix, and gets up, gives the old Mile High salute, which was fantastic in the throwbacks. Although they didn't do the Mile High salute in the throwbacks in the 70s, but I mean, whatever. Bo goes and grabs the football from the ball boy, hands it to Pat Bryant. I mean, the vibes were just incredible. Just everything about it. And to get the rookies involved was absolutely key. Sean Payton talks about the details of that.
Take the snap, but when you got a guy that grew up playing quarterback, does that give a little extra level of security to a Wildcat snap for Harvey?
Yeah, it's been in for a while. We had a handful of plays today that have been in. Sometimes plays stay in because they still fit. So that's been in quite a while. RJ's third down call's been in for like 5 weeks. It's a man zone read. We put him outside of the tight end. We saw the linebacker. We climb him back in. And so there's some of those plays that you're like, all right, they can come off the call sheet. You know, you've just been running them. But, yeah, clearly he's comfortable getting a snap. And, you know, when you take the quarterback and someone leaves to cover him, then you kind of get your numbers back. You know, you're really playing 10 on 10.
Yeah, Sean.
It was cool that they were able to use whatever they wanted. We're going to do a Wildcat. We're going to have Bo roll out. We're going to, you know, get the rookies involved. Listen, there were some, you know, touch and go news on a lot of different things. We'll get to that in a second. I'm only staying with good stuff for now. And we'll get to things that might be a little concerning in a heartbeat. But again, the spirit of the game was sublime. And I don't know, fight songs?
Another big day. Was that more of exploiting a mismatch for him, or just continued?
His last touchdown was whiplash. It really is hard to go into a game and say, I think such and such is, you know, it's hard to predict that. Cortland or, There are all these different opportunities, and they just unfold sometimes in a certain way. In that video last night, though, there were 2 or 3 Oregon fight songs. There were 2 or 3 SMU, you know, the whole group of them, and it's just hard it's hard to predict how it comes out.
Sean, just the efficiency.
The key is they were able to get those rookies involved, and we should see a lot more of that coming up. Listen, this thing does not go the way it goes if it wasn't for Bo Nix, okay? And it wasn't Bo at the end, which is really great that you have a comeback ability. This was Bo from the jump. However, it was a little tricky because of an interception on the first drive. And you're like, oh my gosh. But the defense was able to stop the Cowboys from scoring a touchdown. That was huge. From that moment on, Bo Nix, 19 of 29, 247, 4 touchdowns, the 1 interception. This is numbers with Bo Nix that he has 3+ wins with 4 touchdowns or more. Only John Elway and Peyton Manning have that. Now, one of those games was against the JV Chiefs. The other was against Cleveland, but so what? They're NFL games, and NFL games are just that. Quarterback rating of 117.4, QBR of 82.8 out of 100. Nah, Bo was fantastic. Bo was just great and deserves all sorts of praise today.
Rated with today, did you feel like he was in I mean, threw the pick on the first
Yeah,
possession?
he just, his feet got away from him a little, but, you know, he bounced right back. He was magnificent. You know, he was outstanding.
Here's what Bo had to say about bouncing back.
Mentally, when things aren't so good and bouncing right back.
You just owe it to the team. You know, you can't go in a shell the rest of the game. That's not going to do anybody any good, including myself. Definitely was, you know, not happy about it. But, I mean, what can I do? Go back and change it, you know. You know, got to move forward. Can only change the future and go make the plays, you know, in front of me. And that's what we did.
He's fantastic. And it was fun. And he's a leader. And they've won 5 games in a row. They've beat the Cowboys 8 straight times. The Cowboys haven't won in Denver since 1992. The Broncos are 6-2 halfway through the season, sort of, you know, 17 games. But 6-2 in first place in the AFC West. See what the Chiefs do tonight. Hopefully they lose. And Bo's been incredible. And putting it together has been fantastic.
I know you guys have been kind of looking for this for a while. How's it feel when you put it all together like that? And what does it tell you about the potential of this group?
We got a lot of potential. We played really well. Just all cylinders, you know, run game, pass game, third downs, base downs. We played well in the red zone, scored points. I think only 1 field goal. But we played well when we needed to. Our defense played well, got us the ball back a lot.
For a while, how's it feel when you put it all together like that? And what does it tell you about the potential of this group?
We got a lot of potential. We played really well. Just all cylinders, you know, run game, pass game, third downs, base downs. We played well in the red zone, scored points. I think only 1 field goal. But we played well when we needed to. Our defense played well, got us the ball back a lot. And, you know, just overall really good performance by us.
There's not a lot to complain about this game, okay? The only thing that I'm a little bit nervous about is some of the injuries that happened afterwards. Pat Surtain missed the vast majority of the game because of at first we thought it was a knee, and it was, I think, a knee, and then a shoulder injury. So we'll see. Hopefully nothing too bad. Zach Allen, concussion protocol, as was Marvin Mims. So again, hopefully that's not too bad. And using Marvin Mims as a running back on sweeps, fantastic. Zach Allen, goes without saying how important he is. But you got great contributions from everywhere. Jahdae Barron gets an interception. DeAndre Tillman, we'll hear from him in a second with his interception in his rumble. And, you know, the defense of the Cowboys is terrible. They're worse on the road than they are at home. And Sean Payton wanted to keep them in their place.
League in defense, and plus they had a lot of injuries. Did you go into this game thinking?
We wanted to keep them last. You know, that we went into the game. We recognize the injuries. There's a lot of injuries, you know, on our team throughout the league. That was unimportant to us. We just went in the game focusing really on what we do well. And, yeah, there were a handful of plays that Troy's touchdown was matchup driven, boundary corner. I think he was teammates with Bo and Troy at Oregon at one point. That's part of the game.
Hey, Coach, you just mentioned Troy Franklin. I wanted to.
That's a great message. Hey, we knew the defensive back was teammates with Bo and Troy. We think he sucks, so we're definitely going after him. Sean can be ruthless sometimes, man. He can be ruthless.
Thought were some of the keys in slowing down the NFL's #1 offense?
Yeah, fair question. I thought, it's hard to sack him, but I thought we affected him. And that was important. I thought our red zone defense forcing, the very quick sudden change, forcing a field goal. I thought those were important plays for us. And then I just didn't think they could keep up with what we were doing. So I had said to the defense periodically, can you guys keep up with us? And, yeah, I thought it was a pretty one-sided game.
Sean, you've talked a lot about.
I'd have to agree with that. Quarterback hits by the Cowboys, 1. Sacks, 0. Tackles for loss, 3, which is really no big deal. And passes defended, 2. I mean, that's about as clean of a sheet as you can find. For some comparison, quarterback hits for the Broncos on Dak Prescott, 8. That's what Sean's talking about. Yeah, there were only 2 sacks, but 8 moments where they're getting in the way. 12 passes defended, 3 tackles for a loss. I mean, this was like obliteration. Never mind the fact that the Broncos got 3 takeaways compared to 1 for the Cowboys. Sean's right. This was an ass kicking. This was an NFL ass kicking. Ain't no doubt about it. And DeAndre Tillman, you got to feel good for him. Gets the interception late, and boy, he had one thing on his mind.
DeAndre, are you trying to try out as a running back now for this team?
I used to play tight end back in high school, so I can catch the ball a little bit if it comes my way.
There's 2 things you could have done. Number 1, you could have stayed on the ground. Number 2, you could have popped up, breaking a tackle, crossed fields, juked Dak Prescott. Why'd you choose number 2?
Honestly, I was trying to score. That was the first time I got my hands on the ball. I always told myself if I get my hands on the ball, I'm going to try to score. So
you get one chance, right?
Exactly. You only get one chance, so you better do it all.
How much fun was that moment for you?
It was amazing, man. That's everything I dreamed for right there.
Until I'm wondering, is it more exciting to come back and have a remarkable fourth quarter win or to beat the brakes off of a team?
I would say probably beat the brakes off a team, That's what we want to do, but obviously, the comeback was amazing too, but it just feels good to impose our will on people.
Awesome moment, awesome game. It was funny because apparently there was something else they were playing for. Game balls, Sean.
Were there any game balls given out after the win since it was a really big one?
So it was the first time we had the Battle of Arkansas between the Jones family and the Walton family. So Kerry and Rob got the Battle of Arkansas game ball. We'll have a chance to look at the tape. But, yeah, ownership's been great, and it's a good win.
Sean.
I think what Sean means is we'll have a chance to look at the tape for other game balls. But in terms of the Battle of Arkansas, hey, Team Walmart all the way. Riley Moss, is he being profiled in terms of pass interference calls?
It sucks, but it's just part of the job, I guess. And, yeah, you just got to keep playing. And, I was blessed with a pretty short memory. So, it doesn't bother me. We won the game. Bada bing, bada boom.
Riley, how crucial?
Bada bing, bada boom.
We did it again. Another one. Another dub. What's that, 6-2? Ooh-wee.
Broncos win at home.
Great team win. All 3 faces did a great job today.
We got that dub.
Dubs at the crib, man. Let's keep going.
6-2, let's go, baby. On to Houston, let's go.
What an awesome feeling. Good for the Broncos. And we're moving on to Houston, which beat San Francisco, and that's going to be a challenge. But what a great win. Great win by the Denver Broncos. Not so great for CU. We'll hear from Prime. We'll catch you up with the Avs and Nuggets in a second.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.
Journey Spice is the absolute best, and you can save yourself 10% using the code GetSpicy at Amazon.com. Thank you, Journey Spice. Thank you, Andon and Rosa. Again, go to Amazon.com and save yourself 10%. Okay, see you. This is rough, okay? It was the biggest beatdown in the Prime era. They lost to a freshman quarterback named Bird Ficklin from Utah. Utah is a good team, but they're not a ranked team. This sort of humiliating loss should not be acceptable. And I am not anywhere close to saying, oh, you need to dump Prime, nothing like that. But boy, oh boy, do big changes need to be made. Prime explains down 43-0 at halftime, minus 18 total yards. It was bad.
This is bad. It's probably the worst beating I've ever had, except for when my mama whooped me as a kid. 422 yards rushing. You ain't winning. You're not winning. Yeah, 300 yards, you're not winning. 250, you're not winning. It's not capable. Total offense, 140 yards, you're not winning. You're not winning. They had 587 yards of total offense. You're not winning. With that, special teams gave up a fake punt as well as a block punt. You're not winning. So all three phases, we got our butts kicked. Let's go.
Meanwhile, I mean, he's screaming at Livingston, the defensive coordinator.
Wasn't pleasant.
Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. The whole thing was ugly.
Coach, you just said how much respect you have for Coach Whittingham, and this is obviously a tough question to answer, but when you look at his program and the sustainability that they've built, that's where, I mean, you're trying to get there.
Yeah.
What do you think is separating you from maybe a little bit more progress?
That's a great question. Stability in certain areas. But the thing about it, those areas show up and they show glimpses of success. Sometimes you just are dumbfounded, man. You just look at this thing and like, wow, like what happened? There's no way. There's no way this should happen.
Coach, you mentioned
We've just heard about a team that just didn't seem to care that much. Players who got back from break late. Salter said there were defensive fronts that they'd never seen before, that weren't scouted. I don't know, man. I heard my guy Brett Kane, give an example that they're just a bunch of mercenaries that don't care about the team, because that's what it's devolved into. But the rules aren't different for every team. Kyle Whittingham of Utah has had a sustainable program that's been really good year after year after year. And the Buffaloes just beat Iowa State, which felt like a really good win. With time off to rest and get focused, it seems like they just quit. There's 4 games left in the season, home game against Arizona. Then you go to West Virginia. Then you host Arizona State, and then you finish up at Kansas State. You have 4 chances to finish off this season. none of the 4 of these opponents are like unbelievable. They're okay, but they're kind of like Utah. So we'll see, but not great. Moving on to the Nuggets, they beat the pants off of the Suns, 133-111. It wasn't even that close. Highlighted by Aaron Gordon's alley-oop.
An incredible start to the season for you two personally, but I got to ask you about the dunk, the 360. Yoke throws it up to you. What made you want to make it a little spicier out there?
I was trying to get on top 10. ESPN, dun-dun-dun.
All right.
I'm sure he had no problem doing that. And Yoke on the dunk?
No, that's all him. He's a freak of nature, a freak of athleticism, whatever, and he looks my pass look make my pass look good.
What would you score it?
Pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That looked really good, especially from my angle. I know he's like 10 for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat that. Stick around for what Jokic TV show he pays attention to. Meanwhile, David Adelman has high praise for Jamal Murray. Listen, there were 7 starters in double figures. It was as well-balanced a game, and they only had 9 3-pointers because they dominated in the paint and on the fast break. I don't know. Maybe it'll be another weird year where the Nuggets put up the least amount of 3-pointers in the NBA. That's kind of their reputation, but, I mean, what are you going to do? And Jamal's been fantastic, by the way. David Adelman.
In the past, he's had starts that were okay. I think everybody was really into the numbers back then. And now that we've won, I just think it's more about just the mentality of how he's playing and not chasing the numbers where you feel pressure before contracts or why you been an all-star. And some of those questions are kind of ridiculous to me because how many all-stars haven't won championships? How many all-stars don't have a triple-double in the finals? How many all-stars don't have 3 50-point playoff games or whatever the hell he has, 4 or 5? So ask that question sometimes too. Like, yeah, he doesn't go to the glorified pickup game, but the guy is a champion and one of the best players this generation.
You said consistently in Michigan.
Jamal's been fantastic, and he loves playing for Coach Adelman.
It's amazing. He has a lot of trust, not just myself, but everybody. He gives a lot of freedom to guys. Hears you out, has a lot of play calls. He's an offensive genius. Just everything. He's just a really cool guy, honestly. I'm happy to play for him, and with our offensive coach being here now, our coach is going to be really helpful. Just kind of always talking to us, always giving the pointers that he sees and stuff. He doesn't have to wait for the next film session to tell us what he wants and stuff. So, like I said, we're just going to keep getting better, and we're off to a good start.
Yeah, 1-1, good start, solid start. Minnesota tonight, and it's important for Jamal, who's heard some of the criticism about starting slow.
That's why I wanted to come out and just have a good November, October, whatever it is.
So, no? Or...
I said, yeah, that's why I wanted to have a good November or October or whatever it is. No problem.
Meanwhile, you had a game, that's Jamal being funny, where Jokic had 1 shot in the first half, but he had 15 assists. He had another triple-double. And I do wonder if some of the numbers in a very well-balanced team may be down for Jokic. It might not be the worst thing in the world if he doesn't win the MVP. He didn't win the MVP the year they won a championship. It shows you they have a more balanced team. So, whatever. The Nuggets and Jokic will take what they're given.
Yeah, and also that's how they guard us, and I do think it's the more weapons you have when people guard us like that, he doesn't have to try to go through 3 bodies to keep us in a game. It's just make the right play. I think he had another triple-double, right? So 14 assists? Yeah, so, he just take 15. Just take what you get, what's given to you. And I think that's who we're going to be, and I think the more we can put that on tape, that we can win games that way, the harder it is to decide to do that. If we can win games just moving the ball and taking the right shot, we'll have a solid season.
Two Aaron Gordon questions.
That's for sure. They're going to have a great season. And there's going to be a lot of blowout games. Meanwhile, Vic Lombardi asked Nikola Jokic, is it a bit of a relief that Jonas Valanciunas is here and there's not so much of your shoulders? And then we found out his favorite TV show.
I never relax and breathe easy, my friend.
You breathe harder?
Thomas Shelby said there is no rest for me in this world. If you guys watch Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders now.
There's no rest for me in this world. No rest tonight, 7:30 on Peacock. The Nuggets take on Minnesota, and that's in the land of Thousand Lakes. Meanwhile, on the East Coast trip, weird one, 2 afternoon games for the Avs against the Bruins and then the Devils. And not great. Possible 4 points. They got 1 out of 4 points. They lost flat out to the Bruins in regulation. They trailed the Devils 2-0, got that one to overtime, and then lost 4-3 in overtime. Trent Miner gets the start as we still wait for Scott Blackwood to come back.
Yeah, for sure there's a difference, but I think today just wasn't good enough out of myself and what I expect, and I needed to give the team a better chance, and I thought they played good enough to win, and we just didn't get it.
When did you find out you were going to start?
I can't. Sometime between last night and today, I can't remember when exactly it was.
How were your nerves? Okay, I know you feel like I want to make one game under your belt this year, but how did you feel?
After the first we got going, it felt a lot better. I don't think I was great to start the game, but as it went on, I felt normal.
And some words of encouragement from Brock Nelson.
I think it just goes back to that, finding a way to get those extra ones, and obviously it's quite a bit different narrative. And you got to find ways to just win those games, and know we're going to be back in the spot. All things considered, though, collecting points is a good thing in that segment. Try and improve on that, make the next 10 a little bit better. And I agree. I think there's been games that we probably deserved a better fate where we didn't get the full 2 points. So we keep doing that, keep rolling it, finding our rhythm, I think we'll be dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, so we're 10 games in. You look at things in 10-game chunks. They're 5-1-4, which is, a quirky record, but that is 14 out of a possible 20 points. So, and you just look at things through 10 games and, you look at it and you see that, well, the Avalanche are slightly behind after 10 games. Utah, which is on a 7-game heater, by the way. That's crazy. They've won 7 in a row. Technically, the Avs, they've lost 4 games in a row, which, sounds terrible, but you're right behind Utah, and you're fine. I think you can play better. You'll be better on the power play. It'll translate to more points. I mean, Utah's 8-2-0. 4 overtime losses is definitely, I'm just checking real quick. Yeah, that's the most in hockey. So you're just off to a weird start, man. Like, you're going to lose all 4 times you go to overtime. Anywho, not really worried about it. The Avs are going to be fine, no doubt about it. It'll be good to get Blackwood back too. Little pressure off of Wedgie, and Trent Miner's okay. We'll be all right. They host the Devils, so a little bit of revenge. They host the Devils coming up on Tuesday night. Man, I'm losing it. Well, it was a unbelievable weekend. Great news from the Broncos. Horrible for the Buffs. Solid news for the Nuggets. And not worried about the Avalanche. So top to bottom, we're doing all right. Man, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you visit Journey Spice, where you can save 10% using the code GETSPICY. And we'll talk to you later today from noon to 3 on PhD. And we're talking about it all day long on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. My friends, have a great
to win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game.